think it's remarkable. Here is the president-elect doing business, heading into Christmas, without yet taking the oath of office. He's getting more done than a lot of presidents have done in their first year.
Absolutely. I think it's exciting. It's exhilarating. He's being a man of his word. He promised that he would, in fact, get America working again, and he's not wasting a minute to get it done. So this should be something that people are very optimistic about. The forgotten men and women that felt that they were left behind in this country under the previous administration for 8 brutal years. Now there's a bit of shining light coming through about opportunity, about jobs, about America first, about manufacturing here, infrastructure, and doing good deals. Isn't that what they're supposed to be doing? And not even waiting till he gets into office, because not a minute to lose when you've got an opportunity. Nearly
every announcement out of Washington, D.C., with Donald Trump still our president-elect, the government is operating, and every time I hear one of their pronouncements or one of their reports, I'm thinking, this is what Trump is talking about. Smart government. And what we've got is the opposite of smart government in every respect, nearly.
Yeah, it's really true. Smart, efficient, effective government, actually getting things done versus weighted down bureaucracy and regulation and job stifling policies and proposals. Now that he has an opportunity to actually get business done. I think it's a stroke of genius that we got very fortunate to have someone with the business acumen and intellect and business success model in President-elect Donald Trump that actually knows what to do to get this country back working again, juxtaposed to a community organizer that, quite frankly, didn't have a clue.
And the 2 CEOs, Boeing and Lockheed Martin, both after those meetings, came out talking about it's nice to have somebody who understands business. They were obviously impressed, and how refreshing it must be for them to be able to sit down with a guy who knows what he's talking about, knows what he wants, and lays it out in terms that CEOs can respond to affirmatively as they did today.
To have an intelligent, meaningful conversation where they can sit across the table with somebody that has a clue, that has an IQ about this, and understanding, so you can cut through all the rest of it. You don't need 25 different advisors. You can sit down with a group like that and actually make a difference and move the ball forward. That's what this country needs to get us back in the stimulated fashion, moving in the right direction. And you've seen the market has been very responsive so far to what the president-elect has done, and just by virtue of the fact that he was elected resoundingly in a huge movement from the country.
And the metrics of how he's being received, you mentioned the market, but we're seeing a rise in confidence by polling. He's doing the right. I actually believe, and I realize that I'm not entirely an impartial observer here, but I haven't seen him do anything that anyone could call a misstep. It has been a bravura performance on the part of the president-elect. And today, saying what he did about radical Islamist terrorists, an attack on humanity, and they have to be stopped. We heard and there's one instance in which Barack Obama said something akin to that, and that was that he would degrade the Islamic State and he would destroy them.
Yes,
it turned out to be a total lie.
Yeah, you're scaring me, Lou. Degrade. Okay, it sounds like you got bumped from like first to coach. I mean, that's not scary. You know, that makes no sense. And what's great here is this president-elect is a man of courage and conviction that isn't afraid to call it like it is. And plain spoken, and use the words radical Islamic terrorism and radical Islamic jihad, and look them in the eye and say, we're going to come get you. We got to get it done. I love hearing that. When you go to the rallies, you listen to this, the people feel like, yes, this is a man who's going to make America rich again. That's not a dirty word. Safe again.
Yeah, and someone asked him a question today. I think it was the Pool reporter. I may be wrong on that. Asking him if he was staying with his view that there should be a temporary ban on immigrants into this country from jihadist country. And he said, I mean, it was a preposterous question on the part of the media. And he said, in so few words, said, I have been right about this all along. The reporter did not acknowledge it, but the facts sustain him, validate his views, and everyone watching and listening to that exchange between one reporter and the president-elect of the United States said, what is the media doing?
What is the media doing? Well, they've been in the bag the whole time for the liberal left and for Hillary Clinton, and despite their own essential super PAC for Hillary Clinton, they could not get her elected.
Well, we're talking about smart government, and Donald Trump is bringing that to Washington, D.C. Now we need to get a smart media. that can get over itself and get to its principal responsibility, which is to inform the public and to be correct as it does so.
It's a question of, ethics and competency, and they are long overdue.